This is probably one of the more interesting topics we've had on this channel in the past month that is not so much drama based around all of the FaZe Clan stuff, but more so around the CSGO scene and the gambling space as it stands today. A great talking point brought up by a former pro player himself and content creator who took a lengthy break, if I'm remembering correctly, Yacine. He has now returned to the space. I would call him a former Counter-Strike pro and creator. And after taking a break, he has returned for only a few days to live streaming on Twitch, to which he has now taken to Twitter with a very interesting post about the offers that he has been made already from CSGO gambling sponsors. I want to quickly say that I don't really have a horse in this race. I understand that there's going to be arguments for both sides, and I'm not judging anyone for taking certain sponsors. Certainly some people can probably need the money more than others, and this has been an issue lingering for a long time in CSGO, but it's certainly an interesting talking point. I'm curious what you guys think, as Yacine has now come out and said, I've been offered $30,000 a month after streaming for 2 days to take a CSGO gambling sponsor. And you wonder why streamers sometimes just don't say no, because that's a lot of money to try and say no to. But I'll let him say it in his own words.
All right, hey guys. So I made this video in Swedish on Instagram, but I thought it might be very important to make it here on Twitter as well. So most of you might know that I made a Twitch comeback, and it's been absolutely amazing in many ways. It's been better than I could ever imagine, honestly. And I've streamed for 2 days. That's how long I've streamed. And today I woke up with an offer of $30,000 a month. And on top of that, they were willing to pay me $1,500 a day to play with. And with money that I could, if I won, I could take it out as well. So obviously those $30,000 plus this, could end up being, maybe $500,000 plus a month in Swedish money. And while, that is, an insane amount of money that, I could definitely use right now, because obviously for the last 10 months, I've been a poor man's student, living on Amanda and being very, very broke. And so obviously that amount of money would help in amazing, tremendous ways, for me and my family. But then you start thinking about it, like how is it possible that a company can come to you after 2 days of streaming and be like, hey, my guy, let me offer you $30,000. It's triple what I made when I used to compete in Valorant. And this is from one sponsor, and you're even allowed to have multiple sponsors. Like, do you understand how much money they're offering? And this is obviously at the expense of young guys. I've heard stories about guys who are like 15 years old with gambling, addictions and gambling debts of like $1 million Swedish. It's nasty when you think about it. And I think we've normalized this gambling thing. And honestly, in many ways, YZN, when I was streaming under that name, I was a big part of that, which I am very, very sad about, and in many ways ashamed, because I was definitely a part of that culture. And I think it's been normalized in CS. And although I think CS is in many ways this amazing game where everyone can be the best, if you compare to Valorant, if you're not in franchise, you can't be the best. In CS, we don't have that. In CS, it's like I can get 4 people, practice every day, and qualify to the major. And that's amazing. But at the same time, CS has normalized this gambling thing so much that I'm not even sure, like, where exactly are we going? Because we are ruining young guys' lives, like fucking them up hard here. And I think, I understand, like I really understand the temptation, because we live in a money society where money is key and all that stuff. Yeah, and I think, I understand that it's easy to just take the deal and don't mind it, But for me, it's like, I think we need to start thinking about where does the money come from? How is it possible for a company to go to a guy after 2 days of stream and be like, hey, my guy, we're willing to pay you fucking $50,000 a month? Like, how is that possible? And then when you start thinking about it, you realize that maybe it's due to this and that, right? And so I just wanted to say that, I think it's time for us in the community to actually do something about this and actually try to raise a voice or two and actually talk about this, because it's not a sustainable life and it's not a sustainable living like this. We can't keep profiting off people, young guys with gambling addictions. It's like, when you say it out loud, it's like, what the fuck, So I just wanted to say, obviously this morning has been intense due to this, but I think it's time for us to act.
And he goes on to speak about how big of an issue this is for younger men, also a younger audience in general. There's a reason why these sponsors obviously are paying so much money. I think Jesus brought this up most recently, a time where this became viral again. It's been talked about for years and years. I'm sure all you diehard CSGO fans know the ups and downs with gambling being banned and now being back and now almost being accepted in more of a weird manner. It's had its ebbs and flows over the past 5 to 8 years. Point or another, whenever you check that Twitch page for CSGO streamers, you can go through there, and if there's not matches on, many of the top creators and streamers, they have the exclamation point this site, exclamation point this site, all leading to gambling sites out there that are sponsoring their streams and offering ridiculous amounts of money. My counter to this would be, I feel like now more than ever, CSGO is in a space of promoting also opening cases, and I would be curious what Yacine has to say about that. Certainly, I know there's a difference between these potentially unregulated case opening sites and gambling sites and opening cases in game. I think you could also just make somewhat of an argument, though, the promotion of opening cases in CSGO in general, knowing how minuscule the odds are of actually making money or opening a knife or opening anything significant, has kind of led to this more accepting of the issue of gambling, at least in my opinion. I mean, when you go to a CSGO major and every time they do a cutscene to the crowd, people are opening cases, it's no surprise that it leads to other people wanting to open cases or buy skins or gamble those skins or go to case opening websites outside of CSGO, And for me, it is incredibly respectable for someone who can say no to that kind of money. I'm gonna be honest and transparent with you guys. If I had an offer on the table for $300, $400, $500,000, some of these deals even more than that, that would be extremely difficult to say no to. Certainly a lot of these creators and streamers don't need the money, but if you don't have a job right now or a significant amount of income, or if you're Yacine and after a couple days back from taking a lengthy break, you're being offered that kind of money, it would be difficult to say no. But it's also very respectable that he is somehow saying no and coming clear about these offers, because it makes for a very interesting topic out there to get at least his voice out of, hey, this is absolutely insane. There are no other scenes, I don't think, in esports and gaming, please correct me if I'm wrong, where this would be as accepted as it is when it comes to CSGO gambling, and CSGO case opening. And again, I'm not really fully sure where I stand on it. I didn't really realize how strenuous of an issue it had become yet again. It is just bonkers to me that someone can come back to CSGO streaming, do very well for himself. I think around like 2K concurrence, but you get a couple thousand viewers in any scene, you're doing well for yourself. But in CSGO, you have the opportunity to do extremely well for yourself because there are beneficial partnerships and sponsorships that other spaces just simply don't have when it comes to opening cases or gambling. So it's definitely sparked something very interesting. I am very curious what you guys think about this and where does this go for the future of CSGO and case opening and how accepted all of this really is. We'll see what happens. Till next time, take care. Drink up, all right? We got more videos coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you back here in the next one.